If you get to heaven one day and someone comes up and say, thank you very much to you. And then you ask him, oh, why are you saying thank you to me? Oh, well, because you helped in putting the fuel in the aircraft that saved my life that day. I wish I was a pilot, but training people to make sure MAF is safe and conducts its operations in a safe way so that people's lives are changed, I think that's just really, really satisfying as if I was a pilot going out and flying the plane myself.
To be called by God, that phrase to me just means obedience. I mean, for everyone, I believe there's a calling. From the moment you set foot on this planet, there is something, set forth for everyone to be a part of, and it's a very unique thing that, only that person can do.
Once you've discovered those talents and those passions and what God's placed inside of you, like what your purpose is, I think when you then give it back to God and say, God, what is it you want me to do? That's when you discover what your calling is, because He will then use it in so many different ways.
I can't quite believe I'm actually going, having been so adamant that I would never go into the field. It's not an easy thing to do. I was going to say it takes a lot of courage, but I don't feel very courageous, even though friends will say that to me. I can't believe, you're so brave, you're moving somewhere new. I guess because it's what I know I'm meant to do, I'm just taking it in my stride.
I was a little kid, about 10 years old, and occasionally we used to see this little plane. It was yellow in color, and it was like the only way we could get important things into that community, very isolated. So I looked and saw that, and I said, maybe I will join these people because they're doing wonderful things to the rural people. As a Papua New Guinean, you understand the problems of Papua New Guineans. And I think my passion has been driven by seeing that need. And if I can help by training people in these wonderful organizations so that our mission goes out as it is, I think that's just very, very satisfying.
Well, my journey to MAF began as a little boy, much like Miles's age. And my dad, after church, we would regularly go down to the local airfield and just watch aircraft take off and land. It was really hooked. This is what I wanted to do. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. God wastes nothing. The steady points in my life where I can see, okay, God's hand was here, it was there, it was there, it was there. He was always preparing us.
Me, I've always had a passion to travel, and then I've always been passionate about training and learning and development. And I think throughout my life, God's opened so many doors, and I think that God had prepared Israel's journey to align with my journey, and then all the talents and skills that He'd placed inside of us, He then gave us this mission.
I am the youngest of 5, and my parents were missionaries initially in Papua New Guinea and then in Papua, the other half of the island, which is Indonesian owned. Looking back, I can see the many different things I've done. It's not just my work life that leads to this, but the fact that I have lived in a mission situation. I have been part of a school. I've had to do education there that will help me support the children more because of tapping into what I felt as a child there and what helped me.
Recently, the CEO came and he gave us this little biro. He said, put that in your pocket, and each time you're going, it says driven by love. And I think that has really, really inspired me. If you are not driven by love, then maybe take your uniform off and as well, do something else. But each time I put my uniform, I put this on and I go out and I said, I'm driven by the love of God to reveal God's love to the needy.
To just have God saying, will you trust me? And me being able to say yes. Who would want to go and live in another country where you've got to, you live on rainwater, and when you don't like creepy crawlies and things like that, they're there, and I don't enjoy flying particularly, but because I had a deep, and still do have a deep peace in my heart about the role and just feel so passionate about it, I know that's come from God, because that's not the human reaction, that is a supernatural reaction and the spiritual reaction in me.
despite the challenges. I think it's just so exciting to be a part of what God is doing. It's really important for us to have pictures on our wall so that after a tough day you can come home and you look at the wall and you can see these are the people that are keeping me here and supporting us and behind us.
We always go back to the call. We always go back to when did God place this in our hearts and how He came to bring it to pass. And it's the bedrock really that we always go back to.
Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me.